Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 326 based on novel. So let's start. The unease in Li Yanzi's heart increased when he vaguely felt that the new Divine Emperor's voice was a bit hostile. In particular, he noticed that the gazes of the four elders toward him had changed. The armored person looked at Li Yanzi and began to laugh. The laughter became even louder, and the origin energy within the hall began to rotate rapidly. The origin energy within the entire hall was affected. There were also arcs of lightning moving within the origin energy, making popping sounds. Li Yanzi's mind trembled, and he stood up and retreated a few steps. He stared at the armored man and said, "What does Divine Emperor mean?" "If Wang Lin." Before he could finish speaking, his words were interrupted. The armored man slowly said, "I heard that Wang Lin is your All-Heaven's Thunder Celestial. Is it you who wants his person, or is it your Thunder Celestial Temple who wants this person?" Li Yanzi frowned and said, "Although this person is my All-Heaven's Thunder Celestial, his status as the Thunder Celestial has already been removed." Li Yanzi looked at the armored man and said, "Although I came here asking for him, this is also the will of the Thunder Celestial Temple." As the armored person looked at Li Yanzi, his smile even affected the armor, and he slowly said, "Oh? I wonder what issue this Wang Lin has with you and all heaven." The unease within Li Yanzi's heart became even stronger. After pondering for a bit, he said, "He has a lot of connections with the Thunder Celestial Temple, but it is inconvenient to list them one by one. But with me, he has taken an important treasure of my family, so I naturally must recover it. So that's the reason you want Wang Lin." "It is understandable." The armored man nodded, but the four elders around him revealed a strange expressions but didn't speak. "I hope the Divine Emperor can agree to my request. After all, my All-Heaven and the Four Divine Sect have a common enemy, the Alliance." Li Yanzi relaxed a bit. Although he was arrogant, he wouldn't dare to offend the Four Divine Sect. Although the Four Divine Sect had fallen, their background was deep, even All-Heaven feared them. "You said that Wang Lin has taken your Shan family's important treasure. How come I don't know about this?" The armor man's sudden question immediately startled Li Yanzi. Before he could completely react, the armored man stood up, placed his hand over his helmet, and a gloomy voice came out from inside the helmet. "You want Wang Lin? Li Yanzi, look at who I am." In an instant, the helmet covering the person's face dissipated into a ripple, revealing Wang Lin. "You? Wang Lin?" Even with Li Yanzi's mental strength, he couldn't help but gasp. The shock and disbelief in his eyes reached a limit. He couldn't help but subconsciously take a few steps back. "Impossible. How can you be the Vermilion-Bird Divine Emperor? Impossible." Li Yanzi was running out of breath and his pupils contracted. He simply couldn't accept this fact. In his mind, Wang Lin was just an ant, an insect he could crush at any time. The strong contrast was beyond Li Yanzi's belief. He stared at Wang Lin, filled with disbelief, but his shock and terror were even stronger. One of the four elders beside Wang Lin stepped forward and said in a gloomy tone, "You dare? Even if you represent All-Heaven's Thunder Celestial Temple, you have no right to judge the Vermilion-Bird Divine Emperor." With that step, the pressure of a Nirvana Shatterer cultivator spread out and charged forward at Li Yanzi. Li Yanzi was already in shock, and when the pressure crashed down on him, he coughed out a mouthful of blood. He retreated a few more steps with a pale face and was forced to accept the facts before him. "You? Li Yanzi, did you come here to represent all heaven to congratulate me on becoming the Divine Emperor, or are here to humiliate me by coming to the Vermilion-Bird Divine Sect to ask for the Divine Emperor? This is too absurd." Wang Lin's expression was gloomy and his voice was as cold as the icy wind of the afterlife. "This matter is like me sending someone to the Thunder Celestial Temple to ask for Master Flame's Park. Li Yanzi, unless you give me a satisfactory explanation today, you won't be able to lead the Vermilion-Bird Divine Sect. Tomorrow, your All-Heaven will pay the price. This matter isn't me making things difficult. Fellow cultivator Moji from the country of Chuyum can be my witness." Wang Lin didn't even give Li Yanzi a chance, he executed his blow like a bolt of thunder. Li Yanzi's mind was still in shock, and those words caused him to cough out a bit of blood. His face was pale, and just as he was about to speak, Moji spoke. I can be witness to testify that Li Yanzi was unreasonable first and requested for the Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor. My words can represent the country of Chuyun. The eyes of the beautiful woman from the corpse sect lit up and she smiled. Since this little one was also part of this, I can also testify that Senior Li Yanzi's request was really absurd. Li Yanzi wasn't able to catch his breath before he heard the words of Moji and the woman from the corpse sect. He coughed out more blood, then his head jerked up and he stared at Wang Lin. Wang Lin sneered and sat down once more. He raised his right hand as if he was observing his fingernails. He didn't pay any attention to Li Yanzi at all. This was the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect, so Li Yanzi couldn't escape his grasp. If this person hadn't brought up such an absurd request, Wang Lin wouldn't have done this. However, now he had to teach Li Yanzi a lesson. Not only him, even the 4 elders behind him stared at Li Yanzi with cold gazes. The surroundings were completely silent. Moji looked at Wang Lin and felt melancholy. He didn't expect the old friend his teacher talked about to be Wang Lin. Thinking back to when they first met on planet Suzaku, it was inside a temple on a rainy night. At that time, this person had just obtained his domain and had just reached the soul formation stage. However, that night of Dao-seeking had made Moji remember Wang Lin. The beautiful woman from the corpse sect also didn't speak. She looked at Li Yanzi with a smile that was not a smile, as if she was watching a lively show. Sweat slowly came out of Li Yanzi's forehead. It was very clear that he can't escape the 4 divine sect with his cultivation level. Wang Lin bringing the Thunder Celestial Temple into this was too vicious. This was no longer his own personal matter, it was the entire Thunder Celestial Temple insulting the Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor. This was the complete opposite of all heathen's original intention. I was reckless on this matter, but it is a personal matter and it has nothing to do with all heaven. After a long time, Li Yanzi revealed a bitter expression. Although he was unwilling, he still had to clasp his hands at Wang Lin and explain. The anger in his heart was strong enough to burn the world, and the humiliation was enough to devour his mind. Back then, this Wang Lin had to respect him and had to watch his mood. Otherwise, he could easily kill Wang Lin at any time. Even the last time they met, Wang Lin still had to be careful and had to come observe the battle scroll immediately when he was called. Wang Lin didn't even dare to not come. Li Yanzi was very clear about this matter. He was planning on pressuring this person to constantly explore the battle scroll. If it wasn't for Qing Shui, Wang Lin would have already become his puppet. But right now he had to suffer the humiliation of bowing down to Wang Lin. The humiliation of having to explain what he had said. How could he bear this? However, if he didn't bear it, he would without a doubt die in the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect. Insulting the Divine Emperor. Just these 4 words were enough for him to be unable to leave the 4 Divine Sect. Wang Lin simply pretended he didn't hear Li Yanzi's words and continued to observe his right hand. Li Yanzi's veins swelled to suppress the anger in his heart. When he looked at the 4 Nirvana Shatterer elders around Wang Lin, his mind trembled. After pondering for a bit, he squeezed out a look of respect and said, I hope Divine Emperor won't mind this old man's mistake. I was indeed reckless, but I didn't mean to insult. Wang Lin looked at his right hand and slowly said, reckless. I asked you before whether this matter was your own personal matter or all heathens. I still clearly remember your answer. I wonder what item of the Thunder Celestial Temple I hold. You? Li Yanzi raised his head and suppressed the rage that was about to explode. At this moment, he didn't dare to get angry. If the woman from the corpse sect and Moji weren't here, he would have gone out all. Even though he would likely die, all heaven would get revenge for him. However, the other party had seized the initiative on this matter. With the witnesses here, even all heaven wouldn't be willing to go to war with both the Alliance and the 4 Divine Sect for his absurd request. Wang Lin's gaze toward him was extremely gloomy. Li Yanzi knew that if he didn't suppress his anger, he would immediately be killed. Lord Divine Emperor, this matter. I was wrong on this matter. Li Yanzi clenched his fist and his body trembled. Ever since he began cultivating, he had never been humiliated like this. Wang Lin lowered his right hand as he stared at Li Yanzi and said, word for word, I want all the battle scrolls of your Shan family. Give them to me and I'll let this go. I'll give you 15 minutes to consider. After he finished, he waved his right hand and some fire origin energy gathered before him to form an incense stick that floated in the air. As the incense stick burned, time slowly passed. Li Yanzi's heart struggled. Seeing that the incense was almost done burning, he knew that his time was almost up. An invisible pressure surrounded his body, and the bitter look on his face became even stronger as he nodded. His right hand reached at the void and a crack appeared before him. 3 scrolls flew out from the crack. Dense battle intent came from the scrolls and surrounded the area. Battle scroll. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as his right hand reached out and the 3 battle scrolls flew into his hand. His divine sense spread out, and with his understanding of the battle scrolls, he immediately knew if they were real or not. Since you have already taken the battle scrolls, can I leave? Li Yanzi had to personally hand over the Shan family's most important treasures. This was something almost unbearable for him, but he also knew that even if he didn't hand them over, Wang Lin would most likely still get them. He had no choice in this matter. If someone else was the Divine Emperor, even if Li Yanzi offended them, at most he would just be trapped and they wouldn't dare to kill him. After all, he was from All Heaven. All Heaven was a very mysterious entity to the Alliance, and the unknown would have given Li Yanzi something to work with. Very few people from the Alliance really understand All Heaven, just like how All Heaven didn't understand the Alliance. However, Wang Lin was very familiar with All Heaven and was once the Thunder Celestial. All Heaven wasn't that mysterious to Wang Lin. This was still secondary. The most important factor was Li Yanzi's understanding of Wang Lin. He knew that Wang Lin was ruthless, daring, and decisive. If this person wanted to kill him, then he wouldn't be imprisoned, as that would give him a chance to counterattack. Wang Lin would choose to decisively attack, and Li Yanzi would have no chance for survival. As a result, he had to give in. Although his heart was bleeding, he still had to hand over the battle scrolls. After putting away the battle scrolls, Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he slowly said, I can let go of the fact you insulted my identity as the Divine Emperor. However, there is still a personal matter I'd like to discuss with Senior Li Yanzi. Li Yanzi felt his heart drop as he stared at Wang Lin and clenched his teeth. You have already taken the battle scrolls and I have already paid the price. What more do you want? Wang Lin's expression was calm as he slowly said, You had said that I took an important treasure of your Zhong family. You must give me an explanation about this. Wang Lin stared at Li Yanzi. He wanted to kill this person, but it would worsen the relationship between All Heaven and the 4 Divine Sect. Killing him wouldn't align with Wang Lin's plan to deal with Tuo Senator. More importantly, if the 4 Divine Sect and All Heaven's relationship worsened, the ones that would benefit would be the Corpse Sect and the Alliance. Qing Shui was very likely in the Alliance headquarters, and there was also the old Divine Emperor's kindness. All these various things made it so Wang Lin couldn't kill Li Yanzi for now. Li Yanzi suppressed the anger once more and said, What more do you want? Wang Lin slowly said, The 10 Lu Fu. You? Popping sounds came from Li Yanzi's body. The anger inside him had reached a limit. His body trembled as he suppressed his anger several times to calm himself down. He finally let out a deep breath. After giving you one last time, I only have 6 Lu Fu left. I don't have any more left, so that is all I can give you. Li Yanzi clenched his teeth. Wang Lin smiled and nodded. 6 is fine. You must also give me the jade with the instructions on controlling them. Li Yanzi closed his eyes and his right hand reached at the void. 6 Lu Fu filled with the scent of blood flew out, and there was also a piece of jade. Wang Lin waved his sleeves and the 6 Lu Fu went into his bag of holding. He then grabbed the jade, and after checking it, he put it away. I'm departing. Li Yanzi turned around to leave. He couldn't stay inside the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect any longer. Don't leave so quickly. I have something I must trouble Li Yanzi to pass to Senior Master Flame's Park. Wang Lin waved his right hand and a piece of jade flew into Li Yanzi's hand. Li Yanzi frowned and his divine sense scanned the jade. Then his expression changed greatly, and he looked up and his eyes shined brightly. This matter. Wang Lin smiled but didn't say more. If Senior Master Flamespark is interested, he can come seek me out at the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect. Li Yanzi carefully put the jade away. Then he looked at Wang Lin. He felt like he couldn't see through this person before him anymore. He let out a sigh and quickly left. My Zhong family's things can't be in the hands of outsiders. Wang Lin, one day, I'll take them back. If I don't kill you, then I'm not Li Yanzi. Li Yanzi rushed out from the cultivation planet and quickly flew away. However, this jade from Wang Lin is a heaven-shaking matter. I must deliver this to Master Flamespark as soon as possible. If this is true, then it is far too shocking. Li Yanzi made up his mind to leave. Every moment he stayed here, he felt extremely humiliated. His right hand reached forward and he took out something from the crack before him. It was a black stone, and the moment he grabbed it, he crushed it into powder. The powder didn't scatter but quickly condensed around Li Yanzi. It was like a long line had wrapped itself around Li Yanzi. In an instant, Li Yanzi's speed increased several-fold and he disappeared without a trace. Several days later, Li Yanzi had finally left the eastern region that was controlled by the Four Divine Sect at his fastest speed and charged toward the all-heathen-controlled northern region. On the second day after he stepped into the northern region, just as he was rushing, a ray of light shot toward him. This ray of light was very fast and contained earth-shattering power as it shot at Li Yanzi. Li Yanzi's expression changed greatly, and he wanted to dodge. However, due to his cultivation level, he couldn't escape the approaching light at all. The ray of light pierced through Li Yanzi's chest. Li Yanzi didn't even have time to use spells or treasures. Li Yanzi coughed out blood and his body immediately collapsed. His origin soul was filled with shock and terror as he fled. Seeing that the light wasn't going to give up, Li Yanzi panicked. His right hand reached forward and a 100 feet wide ball of blood came out. It was a Lu Fu blood ball. The moment it appeared, Li Yanzi immediately shouted, "Explode!" The ball suddenly exploded, and the shockwave confronted the light. Borrowing this moment, Li Yanzi was willing to expend his origin soul essence to escape. However, a red line began to spread from his chest across his body. There was a smile that was not a smile on Li Yanzi's face, but his eyes were filled with terror. Poison. This is the Corpse Sect's poison. All Heaven had gathered a lot of intelligence on the attack methods of the Corpse Sect. Li Yanzi was among the most powerful cultivators of All Heaven, so he naturally knew when he was affected by a poison from the Corpse Sect. Scared out of his wits, Li Yanzi fled like crazy. It wasn't until Li Yanzi was far away that the figure of a man appeared. He wore blue and was very handsome. He looked at where Li Yanzi escaped to before shaking his head and leaving. To sneak attack a junior with the poison extracted from Sichu Nan. This matter. Forget it. The two of us owe Wang Lin too much, the man sighed and disappeared. Let's leave the matter about Li Yanzi for now. After he left the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect, the woman from the Corpse Sect brought out her gifts. After expressing the desire to form an alliance with the Four Divine Sect, she was going to leave. However, Wang Lin asked her to remain to participate in the Coronation Ceremony in a few days. When the woman was about to get up and excuse herself, Wang Lin suddenly asked her a question. Fellow cultivator Li, the Corpse Sect always use corpses as a companions, so you must know a lot about the different corpses of the world. I wonder, what is considered the best body? The beautiful woman's eyes lit up. She was very interested in this new divine emperor. In particular, when he bullied Li Yanzi earlier, this made her view of Wang Lin change greatly. As if tempting Wang Lin, she pursed her lips and smiled. Since the divine emperor asked, then this little woman will definitely answer in detail. The rank 1 corpse has to be the bizarre reverse 5 elemental corpse. There was flirtatious look on her face as she explained. This bizarre reverse 5 elemental corpse isn't a real corpse. It is formed naturally by the heavens under special conditions. This body is formed by the 5 elements, but there are also 5 elements outside the body. This results in a strange change in law. Wang Lin nodded at what she said. So it's like this. I originally thought the news I received about a corpse would truly be the rank 1 corpse in the world. I originally wanted fellow cultivator Li to check, but since this is the case, forget about it. The beautiful woman's eyes lit up and she smiled. Oh. I wonder what kind of corpse would make the Divine Emperor so confident. Wang Lin didn't waste time. He waved his sleeves and a piece of jade flew at the beautiful woman. She caught it with a smile. When she looked at the jade, she didn't seem to care too much about what the information inside could be. As far as she was concerned, no matter how rare the corpse Wang Lin wanted was, her corpse sect would certainly have it. Her corpse sect even had some of the rare bizarre reverse 5 elemental corpses. What's more, when she said that the bizarre reverse 5 elemental corpse was the rank 1 corpse, that was only to the outside. There were 7 corpses within the corpse sect that were better than the bizarre reverse 5 elemental corpse. She casually scanned the jade with her divine sense, but in an instant, her right hand trembled. Her expression became serious. However, this seriousness suddenly collapsed and was replaced with shock and terror. Her right hand became unstable as she clenched the jade. Her expression became flushed and even her breathing became uneven. She took a few steps back and didn't recover for a while. It wasn't that she was too weak mentally, but the news in the jade would make it pointless no matter how strong her mind was. Forget about her, even if the sect master of the corpse sect saw this, they would go crazy over this information. This, her head jerked up as she stared at Wang Lin. Even her speech became incoherent. It was impossible to express the shock and excitement in her heart with words. It was as if countless bolts of heavenly thunder had exploded in her mind. Wang Lin calmly accepted the tea from the sect member behind him. After taking a light sip, he looked at the beautiful woman. I wonder what rank this corpse would be. The beautiful woman struggled to suppress the shock in her heart and slowly said, this corpse, this is only the divine sense imprint of the Divine Emperor. Unless I see the real corpse, it is difficult for this little woman to decide. However, the corpse from inside the jade constantly emerged in her head and made her heart pound. Oh. Wang Lin looked at the woman as he blew the hot tea and calmly said, is that so? Then let's forget about it. I originally didn't have much hope for this, so knowing or not knowing doesn't matter much. The beautiful woman's expression changed and she immediately said, did Divine Emperor give Li Yanzi the same jade? Wang Lin took a sip of tea and casually said, that's correct. The beautiful woman pondered a bit, then she looked at Wang Lin with a hint of respect and said, I can't decide on this matter now, but, Divine Emperor, please give me 7 days. I'll definitely give Divine Emperor an answer in 7 days. Wang Lin put down the teacup and smiled. Fellow cultivator Li doesn't need to worry. I found this corpse by accident, but I was unable to retrieve it. That's why I asked fellow cultivator Li to help identify it. The beautiful woman was very cunning, and now that she had calmed down, she naturally knew that Wang Lin hadn't just simply given up this jade. This had a deeper meaning. Moreover, this Wang Lin had already prepared these jades. He had gifted one to Li Yanzi first and then gave one to her. After hesitating for a bit, she cautiously said, I'm afraid I won't be able to attend the Divine Emperor's coronation ceremony. I'll take my leave first. Wang Lin didn't try to keep her here, he let Li Yingji leave the hall. She turned into a ray of light and quickly left. Wang Lin withdrew his gaze from where the woman disappeared. He had already released the bait. Now he just had to see if all heaven and the corpse sect would be tempted. They will definitely be tempted. Wang Lin turned around to look at Moji and smiled. He stood up and the armor and cloak disappeared. Wang Lin was wearing a white robe as he clasped his hands at Moji and smiled. Brother Mo, it has been many years since we last met. You still look as good as ever. Moji got up and clasped his hands. There was a hint of melancholy on his face as he smiled. I'm afraid it has been almost 1,000 years since we last met. Wang Lin's eyes were also filled with reminiscence as he let out a sigh and said, Brother Mo, our reunion was predestined. You and I must debate Tao again. I still remember that rainy night. Moji smiled and nodded. The two of them walked out of the hall. The space around the volcano where Wang Lin was cultivating twisted. Wang Lin stepped out, followed by Moji. Looking at the black smoke coming out of the volcano, Wang Lin sat down. He slapped his bag and took out 2 bottles. After throwing one at Moji, Wang Lin took a drink and said, "The rain is born from the sky and dies on the earth. The process in between is life. I have taken this to heart." Moji picked up the bottle and sat down. There was reminiscence in his eyes, and he smiled. "When I was part of the Alliance, I was stationed at planet Suzaku at the request of my teacher. On that rainy night, I felt something, so I went out for a walk and unexpectedly met Brother Wang. Brother Wang Lin, you would have gained enlightenment on your own regarding your life and death domain even if I hadn't given the pointer." Wang Lin shook his head. "Sometimes, when you just barely understand but at the same time don't, no matter how much you think about it, it will feel as if there is something blocking your path. No matter how hard you try to break through, you won't be enlightened. The second time I met Brother Wang in the Suzaku tomb, I originally wanted Brother Wang to become the Lord of Planet Suzaku, but it seems I had underestimated Brother Wang." Moji looked sincere as he picked up the wine and took a drink. "I didn't expect Brother Wang to be the Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor in our 3rd meeting. I'm very happy for you." The two people caught up while drinking wine. The memories of the past 1,000 years were shared and time passed quickly. It was as if they had returned back to that temple on that rainy night. Brother Wang's life and death domain has already reached completion and has changed. Your current domain is not something I can comprehend. However, my teacher said that all domains are related to your state of mind. When your heart changes, so does your domain. Perhaps this will be helpful to Brother Wang." As the two debated Tao, time gradually passed. Early in the morning, Moji said his farewells. He didn't stay to attend Wang Lin's coronation ceremony. He left with 4 pieces of jade that Wang Lin had given him and the matter entrusted to him. The news recorded in the 4 jades was enough to shock the entire alliance. Moji had to quickly hand it over to his master and then give them to the 3 other alliance forces. As for their country of Chuyun, with Wang Lin's vague hints, Moji understood something, so he naturally wouldn't let his teacher get involved. After sending away Moji, there were more people that came to congratulate Wang Lin, but he didn't meet any of them. Time quickly passed and the day of the coronation ceremony arrived. On this day, the entire Vermilion Bird Divine sect was filled with excitement. The elders and members of the other 3 sects also came to witness the coronation of the new Divine Emperor. Although this ceremony was tedious, it was tradition, and it took an entire day to complete. The other 3 sects took their leave and the Vermilion Bird Divine sect slowly returned back to normal. Large amounts of members were concentrated on cultivation. As for the elders, they all became aware of the plan to save the Azure Dragon Divine Emperor. They all went into closed-door cultivation to keep their condition at the peak. After all, saving the Azure Dragon Divine Emperor was a very important matter. At this moment, Wang Lin's figure appeared at the edge of the Vermilion Bird Divine sect's burning star field. There was an origin soul floating before him. This origin soul looked like a middle-aged man. He looked at Wang Lin with eyes filled with kindness and satisfaction. "You're very good. During my remaining years, you're not the most talented person I've met, but you're the one I'm most satisfied with. I feel very assured leaving the Vermilion Bird Divine sect to you." Wang Lin silently pondered. "Unfortunately, I don't have much time. If I had more time, I'm confident I could have given you the complete inheritance." "What a pity," the middle-aged man shook his head and sighed. He looked at Wang Lin and softly said, "I fear that I won't be able to return from this trip to the Alliance headquarters. However, no matter what the price, I'll get that Rain Celestial Realm crystal. Right now, 90% of my origin is here. I'll go absorb all the avatars I scattered. I left 10% of my origin soul with my physical body. Once I obtain the crystal, I'll use a secret origin soul transfer method to send the crystal to my physical body. After you receive the crystal, if you can save the Azure Dragon Divine Emperor, do it. If not, then keep yourself safe first. The middle-aged man spoke as if he was settling things for when he died. With that white flame, my body will not rot for 3,000 years. Every 100 years, you need to cultivate near my body and absorb the fire origin energy stored inside it. It will be a great help to your cultivation. Remember it well. However, if there is a life and death situation, don't worry about my body. Use the 9 mysterious transformations to explode my body. Perhaps it will allow you or the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect to get through a crisis. The middle-aged man reluctantly looked at the surrounding burning starfield and at the distant Vermilion Bird Divine Sect planets. There was melancholy and reluctance on his face. Wang Lin, I'm going to leave. I'll also find news of your senior brother Qing Shui as well. The middle-aged man looked at Wang Lin with kindness in his eyes as he placed his right hand on Wang Lin's head and softly said, I hope you don't think badly of me for leaving such a bad situation in your hands. He took a profound look at Wang Lin before turning around and walking away. He looked very elegant, as if he was just released from countless years of pressure, and he slowly walked forward. My name is Lu Yun, and I was born in the ancient Qi refiner world. I became the alchemy boy of the 4th generation Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor. I'm thankful to the 4th Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor for not abandoning me and teaching me Qi cultivation. At the age of 1327, I gained some achievements as a Qi refiner. I followed the Divine Emperor and witnessed the glory of my Vermilion Bird Divine Sect. At age 2945, I became an elder of the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect. At age 4760, I became one of the head elders and passed my first Heaven's Blight. At age 6215 I was given the Vermilion Bird Mark and achieved my first awakening. I beat everyone else that had awakened and became number 1 among the awakened. At age 7912, with the help of the 4th Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor, I completed my second awakening. From then on, I was selected to be the next Divine Emperor, the young Lord of the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect. At age 11,463, the Tattoo clan invaded from outside and stirred up the world. My Vermilion Bird Divine Sect helped the Celestial Realm battle the Tattoo clan. Afterwards, the 4th Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor left with the other 3 Divine Emperors to head to the outside world. Before they left, I was designated the 5th Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor. At that time, I had just passed my second Heaven's Blight with the help of the 4th Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor. It was at that moment that I learned a heaven-shaking secret about my 4 Divine Sect. The 4 Divine Sect are not people from this sealed realm. They came from outside a long time ago. At the same time, I learned that the 4 Divine Sect's first Divine Emperors and members came from a small cultivation planet when the ancient celestial realm still existed. That cultivation planet is the root of my 4 Divine Sect and also the road home. That planet is still within the control of my Vermilion Bird Divine Sect, and there were no disagreements from the other 3 sects. After all, not many knew about this. In order to prevent everything that could happen in the future, it was already the deepest secret within the 4 Divine Sect since the first generation of Divine Emperors. Not even Celestial Emperor Qing Lin knew about this. After the 4 Divine Emperors took over the brilliant Void Star system, they created many similar planets. With these additional planets to confuse people, almost no one was able to recognize the original planet. In addition, the first-generation Divine Emperors used various methods to hide the planet. This ensured that the planet wouldn't be completely found even after a long time. After thousands of years, something strange happened in the celestial realm. At that moment, all creatures in the world seemed to become confused and were in a state of chaos. This video will end here.